What's going on, Guardians? We got our first dev insight for Destiny's the update on June 9th. I'm excited to go through this. I was at work all day, so I really didn't get to like pay too much attention to the news. So I'm excited to see what we got coming. I heard they cooked pretty good. So let's go through it. First, they do have another article or like a blog dropping in the morning or sometime tomorrow, as well as another Friday twid. So two things is going to be coming tomorrow. So I'm also going to be making a video on those. So please subscribe, like if you want to check those out. So let's go through this. Dev Insights, obviously Return of the Director, which we are all excited for. This is like one of the best things we're all hyped for. And then the new directory looks really dope. Obviously with the release of Monument of Triumph, we're putting the directory back in the center of your gameplay, which is freaking awesome. If you're guide to the universe and the place, it's your guide to the universe and your place to plan your adventure. It creates that feeling of wonder with all love. You see the soul system before you, ready to be explored. Anyway, to bring the directory up to date, we've added Kepler and the Lawless Frontier to the space as well, which is freaking dope. Destinations of patrol updates. Destinations have always been a foundational part of Destiny. Whether you've touched down briefly for a public event, roam areas for patrols and secrets, and find various factions moving against each other. Our first steps as Guardians were in the Cosmodrome and beyond, that we spent over a decade patrolling the wilds of our soul system to protect the last city. With the return of the director, we felt now was a better time to thrust players back into these frontiers. This is what I've been wanting. The last couple big expansions, they have had like the Pelheart. I love Pelheart. It's a beautiful place, but it's a single player experience. Obviously, you can invite friends and stuff, but you don't run into any other Guardians there. Same with Kepler. So I am glad that they're going to go back to focusing on the open world and like finding other Guardians, and they're going to do that even more with the event that we're going to talk about. So I love that. That's what they needed to get back. They need to get back to their roots. And it sucks that this update, like there's so many good things come with this update. And it sucks that has to be on the final update, because this update right here can turn the game around. But I don't know. Anyway, we'll continue on. We've revitalized each pre-Edge of Fate destination's loot with new perks, tiered weapons for non-craftable pools, and set bonuses that reflect their themes and stories, which is pretty cool. For our destinations featuring crafted weapons are, as outlined in the Monument of Triumph article, they will be receiving additional perks per column to make them fill up to modern sandbox power standards. We're also introducing a new event, one with some added difficulty that appears during Distortions, which is the event I'm talking about, that only occur on certain destinations. You'll primarily be able to earn this loot through public events, base completion with Grant Tier 3 rewards and Heroic Tier 4, with each drop having a chance to upgrade all the way to Tier 5. During a distortion, these rewards will be upgraded by one tier to match the added challenge. Unique destination activities like Blind Well, Altars of Sorrow, Terminal Overload will also distribute tiered rewards. Awesome. Full details in the patch notes. Okay. Additionally, we've updated what we call World Loot Pool, earned through legendary engrams that dropped from several gameplay to now feature a collection of tiered loot with gear spanning multiple years of Destiny 2. They've been teasing this, like people were like asking after they saw this, what weapons they're going to be bringing back. People are like, oh, you're bringing back this weapon. They're like, maybe like there's gonna be a lot of weapons from past expansions or past like seasons that we only had for maybe like the season, and then they're gonna be bringing back like the 7 Seraph weapons are coming back. There's a lot of cool weapons coming back. I guess they do talk about it here soon, so we'll go over that. Additionally, we've updated what we call the world. Oh wait, already did that one. With that said, let's look at loot from a few destinations. Below is a taste of what's to come. We wanted to excite you but not spoil your appetite. P.S. Don't write while hungry. So Cosmodrome. There's a 7 Seraph for the Cosmodrome. Where it all began, many Guardians can recall their first moments awaking in old Russia, and they weren't alone. Rasputin, the war mind, called the Cosmodrome his home, and there's actually a cool thing I gotta tell you about this after, and proved himself to be a mighty ally and of humanity. The returning weapons that they dropped from the Cosmodrome come with Rasputin's stored arsenal along with the new Origin trait. Original trait is Eyes Up. This weapon gains reload speed, range, and increased damage against combatants for a short time when combat begins. Final blows extend and an enhance bonus. That's interesting. Okay. Seven Seraph. I do love the shotgun, and dude, all the Seven Seraph guns actually are pretty fun. Um, so I'm going to tell you right now because I'm excited. So if you don't remember the Warmind cells, I think that's what they were called, the balls that you would make by shooting these weapons. Um, yeah, you would shoot these weapons, kill an enemy, they would drop a big ball, you would shoot that ball and they would explode and like they do all the different types of stuff. They would either jolt or like, electrocute or do different types of things. There was a lot of things. It's been a while. Well, somebody asked since we're getting these weapons if we're going to be getting those warm mind cells again, and they said maybe, which I'm assuming when they would say no if they weren't. So that means we're probably going to be getting those. We're going to be getting a lot of stuff that has been in Destiny 2, his history, and bringing them back, which is insane how much crap is going to be coming back. But yeah, anyway, let's go through this. So the shotgun has slide shot, discord, quick draw, threat detector, disruption break, heal clip. Ooh. A dual loader, snapshot, closing time, trench barrel, 1-2 punch, chain reaction, incandescent, and surrounded. So it has a good mixture of both PvE and PvP stuff. For Nessus, we got the Blue Perfect, which is a pretty gun. That's a 400 round auto rifle. Their original trait is going to be, let's see, let's go with Nessus. So Nessus, with good robots, failsafe and friends, bad robots, the Vex, and a lot of early Guardian memories, Nessus deserved a loot pool that reflects its status as a classic destination. Status. So the sandbox team reached through time to pull together a collection of weapons reflecting Guardians of many expeditions on the unstable Centaur. We hope you agree that our selection plays as well as they look. Origin trait fell deadly. Dealing damage grants a stacking bonus to magazine size, target acquisition, and range until your next final blow with this weapon. Okay. Might be good for just dealing damage. Might be good for PvP. I don't know. That's pretty cool. We see Blue Perfect as a backbone weapon for the Nessus set, reliable, deliberate, and built to carry momentum from one target to the next. Its refreshed perk pool gives players a range of playstyles while preserving the feel that made the weapon memorable. So it has Outlaw, Rangefinder, Dynamic Sway, Rewind Round, Stopping Power, Enlightened Action, Demolitionist, Rampage, All-Star, Kinetic Tremors, Adhesive Ordnance, Closing Time, Aggregate Charge, and Adrenaline Junkie. So they have some good perks. I'm excited to try this one out. And this one right here is going to be our first kinetic rocket sidearm. So this is going to be cool. It's one of everybody knows a Hayabusa from Europa. So this is pretty cool. They're going to be redoing all these ones. Europa was a defining destination in Destiny's history, marking a turning point where allies and enemies alike began to wield stasis and deepen their understanding of the darkness. Its frozen frontier is inseparable from Braytech, whose ambition and technology remains etched into every corner of the moon. For this refresh, the team wanted to return weapons to fill a home on Europa, reflecting both its harsh environment and its legacy as a defining frontier. So the origin trait for them is going to be winterized gear. So we got after being out of control for a moderate duration, this weapon gains stability, reload speed, and handling. These benefits decay over time after re-entering combat. Okay, and one thing that I totally forgot, actually, if you look at this one, a lot of the weapons now, yeah, that's not gonna work. A lot of the weapons now have intrinsic perks. So this one is gonna be good against unstoppable, but like all the weapons, I think this can be an artifact thing. I don't think they're gonna have like unstoppable sidearm or like like all those things that were usually in the artifact are no longer going to be in there. I don't even know they haven't even talked about the artifact yet. What's going to happen with all that? If we're going to even have one or not. But every single weapon is going to have an intrinsic thing to deal with champions, whether it's unstoppable, barrier, whatever. So this one specifically is going to be unstoppable. So that's cool. I'm excited to see what they're gonna do with artifact mods, if we're gonna even have artifact mods, if they're gonna rotate or not. I don't know. It's gonna be definitely interesting. So this one's gonna have auto loading holster, bewildering burst, impulse amplifier, enlightened action, shoot to loot, stopping power, blast distributor, kinetic tremors, which is dope. Ancillary Ordnance, One for All Star, Frenzy, Desperate Measures, Surrounded. Okay, now so that's just kind of a taste of those. Now we get to the destination event that's going to happen. So, patrolling system. Over the past few years, Destiny 2 has focused more attention on structured campaigns, exciting playlists, and challenging cooperative activities. This has led to patrol mode feeling left behind, 100%. Without strong rewards or a clear reason to return, many players have had little incentive to explore the wilds of Soul, which, dude, I'm so excited to go back and have a reason to go back to the planets because I miss having that as a focus. Um, to remind Guardians of the allure of wandering these worlds, we're introducing a new feature on the 7 destinations Distortions. Every hour, a different destination becomes a focus of distortions. The sky tears open, reality distorts, and corruption spreads. While distorted, the planet's enemies are empowered and more fearsome. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, so you can see right here, they're like all red and glowing. So they're gonna be strong. But yeah, you'll be able to just sit there and fight them with other guardians, which I miss being able to just do live events with guardians. Distortions are a very new enhancement to patrol mode. They're a celebration of all things that are already there, plus a small injection of new things to do and new rewards to discover. Our main goal with this feature was to support what we call the public loop, the connected areas that the players patrol where they can encounter other guardians and work together on a shared goal. We've leaned into it, into all the fun things that were already there, then add a little twist. See, dude, I think it's dope. I'm so excited for this to be a thing. I'm hoping this is just something that constantly happens in Destiny 2 from here. Like, obviously, I'm assuming it is. They're probably just going to leave it from here on out because they're not going to be doing any updates or doing anything after June. So, um, every enemy will become distorted too, making them tougher, more aggressive, and a little more dangerous. Distortions won't massively change the low stress nature of patrol, but you may occasionally find an encounter that tests the skills of even veteran guardians. You'll also discover some familiar challenges in new places and some strange signals leading to hidden rewards. See, so that's cool. So there's some new stuff, some new like hidden stuff that they threw in there to kind of just keep it fresh, which is really cool. Speaking of rewards, we're making distortions uniquely rewarding by providing a new weapon set players can earn in these new events. And to balance the increased challenge of distorted enemies, you'll see higher gear tiers awarded from playing public events. That's dope. But yeah, you'll see right here, it's kind of surrounded in red. That will tell you whether or not the distortions are there. And it's nice as to be every hour and stuff like that. So it keeps it really fresh and stuff if you want to grind it out. Because it sucks if it's like it changes once a week or I think this is nice to keep it going pretty quick. And then overhauling the portal. It's pretty much getting okay. Let's go over it. But since the release of Edge of Fate, we've heard your feedback on the portal and we hate it. Just kidding. Portal, the tab is gone, which is awesome. It's going to be more, I think they'll maybe show a picture, but it's down below now. We still wanted a portal of sorts to quickly find the content you want to play when you want it, which is what I've always thought it should be. It should never been the focus. We've refactored scoring and difficulty and customizations quite a bit. Further address the feedback around the systems. More on that later in the later section. Portal activities, bonus engrams, bonus focuses, and the seasonal hub are still accessible. The portal ops categories are built into the director itself. In the director's screenshot above, you'll see a row of familiar icons on the bottom. So if you go back up here, you'll see it all right here. So you got the portal, you got raids, dungeons, I'm assuming, Gambit, Crucible, Vanguard, and I'm assuming that's Iron Banana, maybe? The wolf right there. Okay. We also wanted to bring back more of Destiny's legacy, and the following will be available in the Monument of Triumph. New Fire Team Ops. Heist Battleground Mars. Oh, hell yeah. The Disgrace, the Light Blade, the Scarlet Keep, the Corrupted, the Lake of Shadows. Oh, dude, yeah, dude, I haven't played those in a bit. New Pinnacle Ops, Operation Seraph Shield, 0 Hour. Hell yeah. New Arena Ops and Override on a 4-week map rotation. Cool. Sweet. So these are gonna be the difficulties. They're upgrading all the difficulties, which is interesting. But first thing I did learn, they'll probably talk about it later, but ultimate is just a flex. Um, it's just you don't like as you can see right here, tier 4, tier 5, I mean tier 5, tier 5. They said that the S plus is just a flex. It's just for people that want to go like test their skills and whatnot. So that's pretty cool. So right now, difficulty rewards and progression are too intertwined. Plus, a bunch of variables are tossed on top: power, armor, and the rewards, past score bonuses that required far too much planning and thought. Yes, they did. Thought before players can even dive in and play. See, that's me. I just want to be able to click an option and it just sets stuff for me. I get people might like you might want to change mods yourself, and they're gonna let you. But it's like nice that you can just pick one to hit a tier that you want, and so you can just jump straight in. So that'd be nice. Um, so when we say we've made the simple system simpler, what do we mean? Now, when you select a difficulty, you will always hit a defaulted reward rank, which will result in a reward default reward tier without adding any modifiers. The table below helps illustrate what reward tier to expect from each of them. Yeah, so we kind of already went over that. But what is the role of modifiers now? In a simplified world, mods exist to allow higher scores to be reached without stepping up the difficulty level, to offset the cost of any selected boons, and to provide any additional completely optional challenge. If you want to earn Tier 4, but don't want to face champions, play an expert, but then add some mods. Don't want to deal with the tougher, more aggressive combatants at Grandmaster, but you still want to earn an S tier grade rank. Play Master with a few mods of your choice, and you'll get those Tier 5 rewards. Every difficulty can have enough mods applied to bump you up one reward rank tier. Additionally, while let's see, Grandmaster, yeah. So that's what I just said right there. Okay. So how will matchmaking work then? We've also updated how matchmaking and customization work around portal activities. We want the system to stay approachable while providing variety. In match-made versions of the portal activities, activities will include fewer modifiers than what players have previously encountered. That's nice. Will grant rewards and rank for the selective difficulty. Revive tokens are also getting updated Crossfire Team, Pinnacle, and Arena Ops. We've heard your feedback about how revive tokens fill in arena ops, and as a result, we're removing them on all difficulties. All right. Interesting. This should make joining activities in progress and navigating the chaos of six-player content a smoother experience. Yeah, that's true. Okay. For Fire Team Ops and Pinnacle Ops, Grandmaster difficulty will now start with 7 revive tokens, while Ultimate will start with 5. Our goal here is to create a little more breathing room in the revive token economy while still preserving the level of challenge players expect from these difficulties. Cool. Adding variety to loot. As we are making updates to how loot is earned through the portal, throughout the portal, we also look at this opportunity to expand loot variety. The following portal activities will feature exclusive weapon reward pools and armor collection with a unique set bonuses. Dude, my vault is screaming. I'm hoping that they're going to be, I'm going to go through and just delete a lot of crap because almost every gun I have in my vault is getting reworked to the tier system. And I want to go back and play all this stuff. So I'm probably just gonna have to go through and just annihilate. I think we're supposed to get more space for the vault, but they haven't announced really how much more space we're gonna be getting. So hopefully they're like, hey, we're closing the game down. So here's 2,000. Maybe they're gonna give us a lot more. But we have no idea what's gonna come. So yeah, Crucible Ops competitive, Trials of Osiris, Iron Banner, Iron Banana, Gambit, Sparrow Racing are all getting their own um stuff again. So that's cool. They're all gonna refresh. And we got Onslaught, Contest of Elders, and the Coil. Um, there's a lot here, but pretty much, let's see. So we've increased, so Onslaught, we've increased the scrap you earn from resources by over 40%, allowing you to max defenses at each location. So that's nice. We removed revive tokens from this mode entirely. Yeah, okay. We've reintroduced the difficulty curve. Now the first 10 waves will be easier than the difficulty you selected. The next 10 waves will be increase and stuff. So we don't have to go into it. It pretty much will increase. The very final 10 rounds is going to be the difficulty that you chose. But the first 2 are going to be actually easier. So, and it's just going to increase in difficulty. And the final 10 is going to be the difficulty you chose. It's not going to be that difficult throughout the whole time. So that's cool. Contest of Elders, we've reintroduced the number of pass in a single run from 4 to 3. Oh, that's good. We've reintroduced the difficulty curve. Now, the first path will be easier than difficulty you selected, with the next path increasing in difficulty. So kind of same thing. Okay. Then we've added world loot rewards in the contest developers reward pool that drop at the end. Oh wait. Oh, that's what I forgot on that on Onslaught. I skipped over that. Sorry, my bad. But they are actually reintroducing the Brave Arsenal from Into the Light. So all those weapons, that's why I'm going to go through and delete all those because I don't. They're all going to get all the tiered rewards. I don't think I. So I'm fine with only getting rid of those. But they're bringing all the Brave Arsenals. One thing that they did say though is they're not going to have the holofoil versions from those. So if you do have a holofoil version and you really want to keep it, then I would keep it because you're not going to be able to earn those again. Uh, the coil, where we've reintroduced the difficulty curve. Now the first path will be easier than the difficulty you selected. The next path increases in difficulty, and the final path increases to match the difficulty selected. So same as the other ones. And then we've added world loop rewards into the coil reward pool that drop at the end of every pathway, in addition to the Pinnacle Ops reward pool drops. All right, so elevating Gambit. Oh, they're bringing back Gambit, guys. No way. For some time now, players have felt our core activity rotation has been lacking a very special PvEVP activity that was introduced in Forsaken. We agree. In Monument of Triumph, Gambit gets a clear home in the directory through the Gambit Ops. Our focus is a better placement, stronger reward support, and a more legible reward structure while keeping the core activity familiar for the players who have already know how Gambit works. Integration into the portal means Gambit Ops will have its own featured tiered reward pool with a new armor set bonuses, and reprised weapons, as well as bonus drops and bonus focus. So tier rewards are driven by the activity scoring, and for Gambit, scoring is driven by team progress through Gambit's major phases: banking moats, summoning the prime evil, and defeating the prime evil, with additional bonus scored coming from Gambit rank. Okay. Rewards are rooted in team effort rather than individual stat chasing, and a team that reaches the primeval phase will earn S grade tier 5 gear. That's awesome. Okay, so it's gonna be tough if you go in there with randoms and stuff. So if you go in there with a team, man, you're gonna be set. It's gonna be nice. Let's be honest, few things in Destiny feel better than banking a pile of moats or saving the game with a last minute invasion. To keep the playlist healthy, Gambit needs strength in its rewards, and that meant looking at the playlist identity from multiple angles. A reworked origin trait to match Gambit's unique rhythm, the return of many iconic Gambit weapons, and refresh perk pools that give players real reasons to dive back in. Our resident Gambit lovers on the Sandbox team took a deep pass on the weapons you'll be asking for and made sure to give them some fun rules. Here are two quick examples. So they got origin trait is gun and run. Defeating targets builds stacks of gun and run for a short duration. Sprinting for a short time consumes a stack to partially reload the weapons magazine from reserves. On bows, it improves the draw speed. Okay. So they're bringing back spare rations. It is a lightweight, so it's gonna be a 140 instead of a 120 like it was the last time they brought it back. It's still gonna be a stasis. I swear it was a stasis last time. The developer that made this gun said, he's like, oh, people haven't said that I've, complained that I made it a stasis. I'm like, I thought it was a stasis last time it was around. But anyway, so it's got a lot of stasis stuff. We got slide shot, rapid hit, snapshot, moving target, firefly, keep away, crystalline corpse bloom, kill clip, opening shot, eye of the storm, swashbuckler, desperate measures, one for all, and explosive payload. So it has some good perk combinations, both PvE, PvP. I'm excited. Spare rations was definitely one of my favorite hand cannons to use. So, and then look what else they're bringing back: 21% delirium. But and this was like a set roll that you can get before, which might even be this one. I can't remember. It's been a bit. But they're bringing back 21% delirium, and then let's see. We'll talk about it down here. So 21% delirium is going to have overflow, reconstruction, and they actually have three new perks. It says redacted, trickle charge, 4 times the charm, feeding frenzy, eddy current, killing tally, one for all, redacted, rolling storm, redacted, frenzy, jolting feedback. So it has a lot of good perks, and I'm curious what the redacted ones are. I'm excited that we're actually getting some new perks too as well for these weapons. Pretty dope. All right. So the goal here was to turn 21% delirium into a deeper chase weapon without losing the version. Players remember, I do love this gun. It shoots really nice. If you haven't gotten it, it's a great gun. Um, let's see here. Its refreshed pool opens up new ways to build around a sustained fire, reload loops, and damage ramp, while still leaving room for the classic role that defined it in the first time around. All right, Crucible playlist rotations. All right, Iron Banana is going to rotate every 4 weeks, and then obviously on the weekend that's not here, you're going to have Trials of Osiris. So it's kind of cool. And then Trials of Osiris is going to have the maps are obviously going to rotate, but there will be some weekends where there might be three different maps on one weekend. So kind of it's going to be randomized. I don't know. I mean, I guess I kind of talk about it here, but yeah, so changes to featured maps and map rotations instead of a single curated featured map each weekend. The mode can now vary week to week, which I'm curious how that. But some weeks may feature one map, while others might feature up to three. So interesting. Check back on Friday to see which arenas you'll be challenged on. Featured weapons are also moving away from a single weekly focus and now dropped from a featured weapon pool instead. We have more details on the map and weapon pools and that's upcoming twid. So in the twids tomorrow. So dude, there's so much to cover. And people are like saying that they cooked in this one and they're like, you guys haven't seen nothing yet. Dude, like when they say that, I'm like, what else? Like, what the hell? All right. Let's see here. As for our broader PvP offering, featured 6v6 modes continue to rotate weekly, while featured small team modes rotate daily until Trials takes over on the weekend. Rumble also remains permanently available. This update also expands the small team lineup, with heavy metal added into 3v3 rotations alongside the 4v4 arena collision. A new modifier mode built around more deliberate weapons, first combat, private match access has been moved to the Crucible Ops portal where players can also find heavy metal. So now heavy metal is going to be a permanent thing, which is cool. And they did add the new this vehicle, or whatever. So we got the Behemoth, the Brig, the Drake. So we have the three different types you can play with. Heavy metal is back on a permanent rotation in the Crucible Ops with some fun updates. If you played heavy metal before, you know the fantasy. Climb into a massive vehicle, roll onto the battlefield, and turn the other team into scrap. This time there's a new option, joining the lineup with the Cabal Behemoth alongside the Drake and Brig, which I just posted a clip about me trying to use this vehicle, and I just, for some reason, love to just dodge backwards and fall off cliffs. I've done that like 3 or 4 times. You know, whatever. I'm just good at this game, guys. Just good. To keep the matches feeling faster and punchier, we've lowered the score needed to win from 50 to 40. It's a small change, but one aimed at making the mode feel snappier without losing the vehicle, combat, chaos that makes heavy metal what it is. Heavy metal is also getting a brand new map, Nightfall Station. It is, so they're getting a new map, which is cool. If that name sounds familiar, it should. The space is adapted from the wreckage of this vessel from the Renegades campaign, now reworked into a heavy metal battlefield built for vehicle combat. Oh yeah, okay, nice. What everyone is excited for, we got Sparrow Racing coming back, guys. We got Sparrow Racing, which is now you are going to be able to use your skimmer too, whatever. So don't worry about that. The long-awaited and frequently requested Sparrow Racing League is returning to Destiny 2. This isn't just SRL coming back to you as you remember it, though. We've brought the mode forward with a set of updates aimed at making races feel faster, livelier, and a bit more chaotic from lap to lap. Sweet. Um, Ghost returns as your SRL announcer along with Shax. There's nothing more motivating than Shax screaming at you, yeah, 100%, at you, it push you to the first place after your opponent just took you on the inside of a turn on Mercury. Skimmers are joining the fun, allowing you to choose between a Sparrow and a Skimmer before hopping into a 3-lap race against 5 other players. Players won't have the access to rail grinds or manual jumping as a Skimmer, or be able to use destabilizers for rolls or flips on a Sparrow. In fact, we've done a ton of work under the hood to make sure that using Either vehicle in SRL feels frequent advantageous to players. Speaking of under the hood, we've also updated SRL to support those photo finish moments. At the end of a race, close finishes can now properly assess ties, which means the two racers hit the line at nearly the same time. The results screen woo, can better reflect that outcome. We know the mantra: if you're not first, you're last. Yeah. But our goal with SRL is to bring, now I'm talking an accent, chaos and friendly competition to the forefront, as tying means you both get equally great rewards. A couple of new mechanics have been added to SRL. Rocket boost rewards racers who nail their timings of hitting the gas just before the race begins. Okay, so it's like Mario Kart, right? Okay. Giving them burst the early gate. Trick boosts are just what they sound like. Land a trick successfully and you'll get a boost. Dope. On PC, Sparrow and Skimmer tricks can also be remapped the same way as emotes can, and we've updated the UI to support that. All four of the original SRL maps are returning, and we've got a brand new map called Quantum Circuits. Brand new map located in the Realm of the Nine. So that's freaking cool. They have a new map coming with this mode. So that's freaking sweet. Additionally, speed boost pads have now been added to specific shortcut paths on all maps to offset any gates missed. A change that we think will make taking riskier and tougher shortcuts more rewarding and viable. Finally, we've done some tuning on gate sizes, vehicle speeds, and rubber banding to keep the pack together while still rewarding strong racing lines, small shortcuts, and well-timed boosts. We're excited for players to get their hands on these updates and hear with brand new SRL music tracks. Dude, I'm excited. That actually does sound pretty fun. I'm excited to jump into this. Now we got the rewards. Ooh. While we're keeping the weapons and their perk pools under wraps, we will share an early look at the original trait and armor set bonuses. We have featherweight final blows with this weapon. To have the featherweight original trait grant increased movement speed while equipped. Revving up, two-piece, fast movement builds. Build up a charge that gradually increases your health regen speed. Once you are fully revved, sprinting grants speed booster. And then if you have all four pieces, sliding while speed booster is active, jolts combatants in front of you. So dude, that one's gonna be so fun for some of the art classes. I'm excited for that. And the players look for a little more style with their speed. SRL will also be bringing plenty of earnable rewards worth chasing. That includes brand new SRL Racing Sparrows and Skimmers, as well as SRL armor ornaments, returning racing sparrows and SRL shaders from Destiny 1, returning sparrow horns from Destiny 1, freaking dope. That also work with skimmers and can be previewed in menus, new and returning SRL emblems, and more. Dude, there's so much going to be coming to this update. I'm going to be playing this freaking all summer a lot. Like, it's going to be great. I'm excited. So here's a little bit of all these. They're all freaking pretty clean, dude. And so this is going to be the holofoil version that you'll get. So you'll be able to get them all on all of these weapons, this holofoil. They just wanted to tease it being on the sword, and the sword's freaking sick. Freaking love that sword. Anyway, so now it says whether you're racing for the win, completing SRL triumphs, or just showing up for the chaos, there will be plenty to earn of gear, accessories that you to look the part. Join us tomorrow as we turn our focus on the weapons sandbox, raid and dungeon updates, tower vendor attunement, and more on our second dev insight article and twid. So there's gonna be even more tomorrow. Yeah, there's obviously been people asking questions on X, and everyone's been, some devs have been responding or just like teasing stuff, mainly on the like what weapons are going to be coming back. And it seems like there's so many weapons coming back. So many things are coming back to the game. They're definitely leaving it in a good state, so I am excited. And then again, I will be making a video tomorrow on the other two information things that they bring us. So please, if you like the video, subscribe, like, it helps us a lot. I appreciate you being here. If you stuck through this whole thing, or if you skipped through, no matter what, I appreciate you being here. I will see you tomorrow, and we we'll talk about more. All right, everyone, have a good night.